You may have heard all the buzz concerning auto openers in the greenhouse industry and how it just automatically supplies you with cross ventilation without any work of your own. Are we simply, dazzled by the news or this, or are we simply just overlooking the advantages of a spindle opener? Hi, I'm Trevor with Greenhouse Emporium. And today we're going to discuss a few things concerning your auto opener versus your spindle opener. And so hopefully you find this entertaining. Hopefully you find this a learning opportunity on your part and on our part as well as we dive into the pros and cons of an auto opener versus a spindle opener. Now, roof vent openers are critical to maintaining optimal temperature and optimal humidity in your greenhouse. They function in allowing the hot air to escape and the cooler air to enter and helping you to maintain the optimal growing temperatures or environment in your greenhouse. So, roof openings or roof vents are very important. And as important is how do they open? So an auto opener, which basically is a piston system, that is filled with some sort of an oil or basically a beeswax. Goes off the expansion and contraction theory, where as it heats up, the oil or the wax expands, forces a piston upwards, which forces your window open. Now, most of these auto openers have some sort of an arm or some sort of a contraption where that piston sits in that has some form of a spring, be it a double spring or a single spring. So as it cools off, that wax will contract, which allows that piston to fall back down, which in turn the spring and the weight of the window pulls it closed. Now, there is a range of temperatures for these auto openers. In general, most of them will start opening around about 55 degrees, somewhere in that area. Now, you can adjust the range of the temperature. The pistons can simply be twisted in and out to adjust your range of temperature. Now, and also to disengage, you would just simply twist the piston completely out, and that would remove the tension. The spindle opener uses an old-time mechanism of a corkscrew mechanism. Basically, you would mechanically turn either left counterclockwise or clockwise, and that would in turn turn and force your roof window or your roof vent to open and force it closed mechanically. That's basically what an auto opener and a spindle opener are. Now, let's talk about the benefits and the disadvantages of both. What are the benefits of a spindle opener? And to me, first and foremost, is the security of a spindle opener. Just by the very mechanism itself, it locks your window into place. It's a beefier mechanism. It tends to work where there's no accidental opening of a spindle opener. Now, a spindle opener does require a little more attention, which in my mind is a benefit. It keeps you going out to the greenhouse either to open or to close this window. With that being said, once you open it, it's open. That's it. There's no closing it so accidentally overheating your garden or your greenhouse. That also could be a drawback. You physically have to go out and close it. But once again, once you close it, it's closed. There's no temperature dropping with a bad storm and your window accidentally opening. So where the spindle opener requires manual manipulation, that's where the auto opener steps in. The auto opener really allows you to set and forget your roof venting. Once you install the mechanism, the piston itself does all the work for you. It'll open and close because there is that temperature range in which it'll operate. It'll open and close that window for you, as we discussed earlier in the video. With that being said, it makes it extremely convenient, but also it allows you to set yourself up for complacency. You set, you forget, you don't worry about it for a few weeks, heavy windstorm comes through, bam, you set yourself up for heavy wind damage. So with an auto opener, one must always be aware of the weather, which is the golden rule of gardening anyway. But just be aware that an auto opener will continue to operate regardless if there's bad weather coming in or not. If you are in a high windy area and you find yourself with auto openers and you're worried about high wind damage, there are simple solutions to that, simply called wind restraints. You can find wind restraints on our website at greenhouseemporium.com, or you can DIY your own wind restraints. So in the end, the choice is ultimately up to you. Do you go with an auto opener or do you go with a spindle opener? 90% of the time, the choice is going to be made for you. Nowadays, most greenhouse kits come with auto opener standard. However, you do have the option to either, I would think of, upgrade to a spindle opener. There is that option sometimes, depending on brand, of course. But once again, it ultimately comes down to your decision, what your lifestyle is going to allow, what your garden is going to allow. Do you want to have daily attentiveness to your gardening? Do you want to set and forget your gardening? So, as most things in gardening, the decision is yours. And if you have any questions, concerns, comments about either or, please feel free to reach out to us. We're a phone call away. Well, thank you for watching our video, and hopefully you learned something today, and hopefully we shed a little light on the benefits of an auto opener versus a spindle opener. If you like what you saw, please like, subscribe, drop us a comment, hints, tips, suggestions. We look forward to hearing from you. I'm Trevor with Greenhouse Emporium, and thank you for joining me today. Let's go gardening.